Do you want to speak, but fear makes you silent? You're not alone. Millions of learners feel this every day. But today, I will show you how to speak English with strangers step by step. If you have ever felt nervous, comment below. Stay with me, because this video can change the way you speak forever. Chapter 1. The Fear of Strangers. Do you remember the last time you wanted to talk to a stranger in English? Maybe it was in a market, maybe on the bus, maybe in your school or office. You saw the person. You wanted to open your mouth. But suddenly your heart started to beat fast. Your tongue felt heavy. Your mind shouted at you. Don't say anything. You will make a mistake. They will laugh. And in that moment, silence won. You walked away. But deep inside you felt sad. You knew you lost a chance to practice your English. You knew you lost a chance to grow. This fear of strangers is real. Almost every English learner in the world feels it. You're not alone. You're not weak. You're not stupid. This fear is a part of learning. But listen carefully. The same fear that stops you can also become the power that pushes you forward. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is your teacher. It tells you that you are about to do something big, something important, something that will change you. If you never feel fear, you never grow. That is why I say, when you feel fear before speaking to a stranger, smile and say, "Thank you, fear. You're showing me the right path." I know what you're thinking, but teacher, it is easy to say. In real life, it feels impossible. Yes, it feels impossible, but only for the first step. Think of a small child who learns to walk. The child falls again and again. The child cries. But the child stands up again. Why? Because walking is too important. Without walking, the child cannot explore the world. For you, speaking to strangers is the same. It is not just practice. It is the only way to bring English alive. Books cannot do it. Apps cannot do it. Only real conversations can make you strong. Let me give you a small picture. Imagine you're at a bus stop. A stranger is standing near you. You feel nervous. But instead of running away, you take a breath. You say just one word. Hello. That one word is a small victory. That one word is like opening a locked door. The stranger may smile and say hello back. Suddenly, you are not two silent people. You are two humans connected by English. Can you see how powerful that is? From silence to connection, just by one word. The fear inside will try to tell you lies. It will say, your English is not good. You will sound stupid. But the truth is, nobody cares if your grammar is perfect. Strangers care about your courage, your smile, your effort, and many of them will actually respect you more because you're trying to speak in a language that is not your first. You may think people will laugh, but many will admire your bravery. You see, fear shows you a wall, but the wall is not real. It is only in your mind. Once you take the first step, you see there was no wall at all. So let me remind you today. Do not wait until you feel ready. You will never feel fully ready. The perfect time will never come. The only time you have is now. Speak to strangers now. Even if your voice shakes. Even if your hands sweat. Even if your heart beats fast. Because every time you face fear, the fear becomes smaller. And you become bigger. One day you will look back and smile. You will remember how scared you were. And you will laugh at yourself, because the fear was only a shadow. It was never stronger than you. You were always stronger than the fear. So let this be your first lesson. Fear is not the end. Fear is the beginning. When you see a stranger and feel afraid, do not walk away. Take one small step. Say one small word. That is how your English journey grows. That is how you change silence into strength. And that is how you become the person who speaks, not the person who only dreams. Chapter 2. Your first word is enough. Many learners believe they need long sentences to talk to strangers. They think they must know perfect grammar before speaking. But let me tell you the truth. You do not need a long sentence. You do not need big words. You only need one word. Yes, just one word is enough to open the door of conversation. Think of the power of the word hello. It looks small. It sounds simple. But when you say it, something changes. A stranger who is far from you suddenly becomes closer. A silent moment becomes a chance to connect. One little word can break the wall of fear. That is the magic of a first word. I remember my own journey. When I was afraid to speak English, I decided to test this idea. I told myself, I will only say one word today. I met a stranger and said hi. That was all. Nothing more. My voice was shaking, but I said it. And do you know what happened? The stranger smiled and said, hi back. That moment gave me hope. I understood I did not need to speak perfectly. I only needed to be brave enough to start. That single word became my victory. Your first word is like the first step of a baby. A baby does not run. A baby does not make long speeches. A baby says, Mama or Papa, one word at a time. Slowly, those words grow into sentences. Slowly, those sentences grow into conversations. This is how we all learned our first language. And this is how you can learn English too. Do not wait for perfect English. Do not tell yourself, I will speak when I know more. That day will never come. The time is now. When you meet a stranger, say just one word. Say hello. Say thanks. Say sorry. Say good. These words are enough. These words are seeds. When you plant them, they grow into conversations. Imagine you're in a shop. You want to buy bread. You look at the shopkeeper. You feel nervous. But then you take a breath and say bread. One word. That is enough. The shopkeeper will understand. They may say, yes here, and suddenly you are speaking. You are using English in real life. You did not use grammar books. You did not wait for a class. You used one brave word, and it worked. Every stranger is a chance to use your first word. On the bus, say hi. In the park, say nice. In school, say friend. At work, say good. Do not worry if you cannot say more. The first word is the hardest. Once you say it, the second word becomes easier. The third word becomes natural. Soon, you are not counting words. You are having conversations. Let me ask you, do you remember your first word in English? Maybe it was hello. Maybe it was yes. That word was the beginning of your journey. Now it is time to use that word to strangers. Every time you say it, you grow. Every time you say it, you win. So here's my message to you. Do not think small words are weak. Small words are strong. They carry courage inside them. They carry your heart inside them. One small word can open a big door. And once the door is open, you can walk through with confidence. The next time you see a stranger, do not stay silent. Say one word. That word is enough. That word is your key. And that word will lead you to fluency, step by step, word by word, victory by victory. Chapter 3. Simple sentences win hearts. Many learners think they must speak big, difficult sentences to impress strangers. They think that if they do not use hard words, people will not respect them. But this is not true. Strangers do not want perfect grammar. Strangers do not want long speeches. Strangers only want to understand you. And for that, simple sentences are the best. Think of a smile. A smile is simple, yet it can change a person's day. Simple sentences are like a smile. They are short, clear, and powerful. When you say, how are you? You show care. When you say, my name is Ollie, you share yourself. When you say, I am learning English, you open your heart. None of these sentences are long. None of them are complex. But all of them can touch another person's heart. I remember one day, I met a tourist. I wanted to talk, but I only knew small sentences. I said, hello. Where are you from? The tourist smiled and answered, I am from Canada. I said, oh, nice. I am from Pakistan. The conversation was so short, yet I felt proud. I had spoken English with a stranger. That small talk gave me big confidence. From that day, I understood that simple sentences are not weak. They are strong. They are doors to bigger conversations. Think of your daily life. You do not need big grammar to survive. You need simple words that work. If you are hungry, you can say, I want food. If you need help, you can say, please help me. If you like something, you can say, it is good. These sentences are small, but they save you. They carry meaning. They carry your voice. They show your courage. When you talk to strangers, your goal is not to impress. Your goal is to connect. And connection comes from honesty, not from difficult words. When you say, I am happy today, the stranger understands your feeling. When you say, I am new here, the stranger understands your situation. And many times, they will answer with kindness. Why? Because your simple sentences touch them. They hear your heart, not just your words. Let me give you another picture. Imagine you're in a park. A stranger is sitting on a bench. You sit near them. After some time, you say, nice weather. Just 2 words. But the stranger looks up, smiles, and says, yes, very nice. Now you're talking. Maybe after that you say, do you live here? Maybe they answer. The conversation grows like a small plant. It starts tiny but becomes bigger. And all of this happens because of one simple sentence. I want you to stop being afraid of simple English. I want you to love it. Simple English is beautiful. Simple English is powerful. Simple English wins hearts. Do not think that using big words makes you smart. What makes you smart is using your English with courage. And courage begins with small, easy sentences. So, my friend, from today I want you to practice simple sentences. Say them to yourself. Say them to the mirror. Say them to strangers. How are you? My name is, I like this. Can you help me? These small sentences are your tools. Use them every day, because each time you use one, your fear becomes smaller, and your confidence becomes bigger. Remember this truth. Fluency is not made of long speeches. Fluency is built from many short sentences, spoken again and again, with courage and with heart. Speak simply. Speak honestly. Speak bravely. And you will see that strangers will not only understand you, they will also respect you. They will feel close to you, and they will see the real you. So next time you meet a stranger, do not worry about big grammar. Use one simple sentence. That sentence will open a door, and behind that door is your new confidence. Chapter 4. Don't translate, just speak. One of the biggest problems English learners face is translation. You see a stranger, you want to speak, but first you think in your language. Then you try to change it into English. By the time you're ready, the moment is gone. The stranger has walked away, and you are left silent again. This is the trap of translation. It makes you slow. It makes you nervous. It makes you afraid to open your mouth. You must understand one thing. Your brain is powerful. It can learn to speak English directly. You do not need to pass every word through your first language. You do not need to carry that heavy burden. Speaking becomes easier when you stop translating and just start speaking. Think about how you learned your first language as a child. Did you translate? No. You listened. You copied. You repeated. You spoke without fear. When you were a child, you did not ask, "Is my grammar correct?" You only said what you felt. That is why children learn so fast. They do not translate. They just speak. And you can do the same with English. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're in a shop. You want water. If you think in your language first, you say inside your head, "I want water." Then you try to find English words. You feel pressure. You become slow. Maybe even give up. But if you stop translating, you just look at the bottle and say, "Water, please." 2 words. Simple. Clear. The shopkeeper understands you. You succeeded. Translation also makes you afraid of mistakes. Because when you translate, you always compare your English to your first language. But languages are different. They have different grammar, different words, different music. If you keep comparing, you will always feel your English is broken. But if you stop translating, you free yourself. You stop thinking about rules. You start thinking about connection. And that is the true goal of English. I remember the day I stopped translating. At first, I was nervous. My sentences were short. My words were not perfect. But the stranger in front of me understood. They did not care about grammar. They cared about my message. That day, I felt light. I felt free. I felt like English was no longer a mountain. It was just a path, and I could walk on it step by step. So how can you stop translating? The secret is to practice with short, ready sentences. Repeat them so many times that they live in your mouth, not in your brain. Say, "How are you?" Say, "I am fine." Say, "Thank you." Say, "See you later." Say them again and again until they come out naturally, without thinking. Once they become natural, you do not translate. You just speak. Another way is to talk to yourself in English. When you wake up, say, "I'm brushing my teeth." When you eat, say, "I am eating rice." When you go outside, say, "I am walking." These are simple sentences, but they train your brain to think in English. Soon, you will notice that when you meet a stranger, the sentences come out fast. You will not have time to translate. You will just speak. So, my friend, I want you to remember this. Translation is a cage. It keeps your English locked inside. But your voice is not meant to be locked. Your voice is meant to fly. Do not wait for the perfect sentence in your language. Do not wait to make it match English. Just speak what you can. Use small words. Use simple sentences. Speak with courage, and you will see how free you feel. Every time you stop translating, you win. Every time you speak directly in English, you grow. And one day, you will realize that English is not a subject anymore. It is not something you study. It is something you live. And that change begins when you stop translating and just speak. Chapter 5. Listen first, then reply. Many English learners think that speaking is the most important part of a conversation. They think, "If I do not speak many words, people will not respect me." But the truth is different. The first key is not speaking. The first key is listening. If you can listen, you can reply. If you can listen, you can connect. Listening is half a conversation. When you meet a stranger, your mind may shout, "What should I say? What if I make a mistake?" You start to panic. But here's a secret. You do not have to say much at the beginning. You only need to listen carefully. When you listen, you learn. When you listen, you understand. And when you understand, you can reply with confidence. Think about it. If a stranger asks you, "How are you?" you do not need a big answer. You only need to listen to the question and reply with a simple, "I am fine, thank you." If they say, "Do you live here?" you only need to listen and reply with, "Yes, I live here." The power of your answer comes from the power of your listening. Without listening, there is no reply. I remember one day, I was very nervous. I want to speak with a foreign visitor, but I told myself, I will not focus on speaking. I will focus on listening. The visitor spoke slowly. I listened. I caught one or two words. He said, "Weather, hot." I smiled and replied, "Yes, hot." He laughed and nodded. That small reply was enough. That was my victory. From that day, I learned that listening is not passive. Listening is power. Listening also makes strangers feel respected. When you give your full attention, people feel you care. They feel you value their words. Even if your English is simple, they will enjoy talking to you because you listen. Many people in this world want to be heard. You can give them that gift. And in return, they will give you patience, kindness, and understanding. Do not worry if you cannot catch every word. You only need to catch the main idea. If a stranger says, "I am from Canada. I like this park. It is beautiful." Maybe you only understand Canada and park. That is enough. You can reply, "Yes, Canada nice. Park beautiful." See, you are still having a conversation. You are still using English. You are still growing. So, how do you practice listening? You must train your ears every day. Listen to English songs. Listen to short stories. Listen to simple conversations. Do not try to understand everything. Just try to catch one word, then two words, then a sentence. Over time, your ears will become strong, and when you meet a stranger, you will feel ready to reply. I want you to remember this truth. Speaking without listening is like running without looking at the road. You will fall. But if you listen first, you see the path clearly. You know where to step. Your reply becomes natural. Your reply becomes strong. So next time you meet a stranger, do not rush. Do not panic. Just smile, relax, and listen. Let the other person speak first. Catch one word. Catch one idea. Then reply with your heart. Even if your reply is short, it will be real. It will be human. And it will grow your confidence. Listening first is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is the secret key that makes your English stronger. Use this key every day, and you will see how strangers enjoy talking with you. You will not feel pressure anymore. You will feel free, because you know that listening first gives you the power to reply. Chapter 6. Body language speaks too. Many learners think English is only about words. They believe that if they do not have many words, they cannot communicate. But this is not true. Communication is not only in your mouth. It is also in your face, in your hands, and in the way you stand. Your body speaks too. And sometimes, your body speaks louder than words. Imagine you say hello to a stranger, but your eyes look down, your shoulders are closed, and your voice is weak. The stranger may not feel your words. But if you say hello with a smile, with open eyes, and with a clear voice, the stranger feels your energy. They feel your confidence. The same word, but two different messages. This is the power of body language. Your smile is one of the strongest tools. A smile can break the wall of silence. A smile can make a stranger feel safe with you. Even if your words are few, a smile tells them, "I am friendly. I want to connect." And most of the time, they will smile back. That is the beginning of trust. That is the beginning of conversation. Eye contact is another key. When you look into someone's eyes, even for a few seconds, you show that you are present. You show that you are listening. You show that you are confident. You do not need to stare. Just gentle, sure eye contact is enough. It makes the stranger feel that you respect them. Your hands and gestures also help. If you're asking for directions, you can point to a map. If you're asking for food, You can show with your hand. If you're happy, you can give a thumbs up. These small actions make your English stronger. They carry your message when your words are not enough. I remember when I was learning English, I often used my body to help my words. I smiled a lot. I pointed at objects. I nodded when I understood. And people understood me. They did not laugh at me. In fact, they enjoyed talking with me because I was clear and expressive. That gave me confidence. That taught me that English is not only in books. English is also in the way we use our body to connect. Body language also makes you look confident, even when you feel nervous inside. Stand tall. Keep your shoulders open. Do not hide your hands. Take slow breaths. These small things change how a stranger sees you. And when they see confidence, they respond with kindness. That gives you more courage to keep speaking. Remember this truth. Strangers are not waiting for your perfect grammar. They are waiting to feel your energy. If your words are simple, but your body is warm and open, they will enjoy talking to you. They will understand your heart, even if your English is not perfect. So next time you meet a stranger, think not only about words. Think about your body. Smile. Look at their eyes. Use your hands. Nod when you agree. Show your feelings. Let your body support your English. Because when your words and your body speak together, your message becomes clear, your confidence becomes strong, and your English becomes alive. Chapter 7. Practice with safe strangers. When you think about speaking English with strangers, you may feel fear. You imagine a serious person who will judge you. You imagine someone who will laugh if you make a mistake. But here's the good news. Not every stranger is the same. Some strangers are safe. Some strangers are kind. Some strangers will actually help you learn. And if you choose the right ones, you can practice every single day. Think about your daily life. You meet many strangers. The shopkeeper who sells you bread. The bus driver who gives you a ticket. The waiter who brings you food. These people are safe strangers. They meet hundreds of people every day. They do not expect perfect English from you. They only expect small, simple sentences. And this is the best place for you to practice. Imagine you go to a small shop. You need water. You smile and say, "1 bottle of water, please." The shopkeeper understands. You give money. You say, "Thank you." That is a full English conversation. It looks small, but it is powerful. You did not wait for a classroom. You did not wait for a teacher. You practiced English with a real person in a real situation. This is safe practice. When you practice with safe strangers, you remove the pressure. You know the conversation will be short. You know the words are simple. You know the person will not test your grammar. This makes you free. And when you feel free, your confidence grows. Step by step, you become comfortable speaking English in public. I remember my own journey. At first, I was afraid to talk to anyone. But then I started with safe strangers. I spoke to taxi drivers. I asked how much. I spoke to waiters. I said, "I want." I spoke to bus conductors. I said, "Where is the stop?" These sentences were short. But every time I spoke, my fear became smaller. And one day, I realized I could start conversations with people in the park, in the street, in the library. All because I began with safe strangers. There is also another kind of safe stranger. These are people online, in chat rooms, on social media, or in English learning apps. You can meet people you do not know. You can practice simple English without fear, because even if you make mistakes, they cannot see your nervous face. Many learners find this easier. It is another way to grow your speaking confidence. Safe strangers are like small steps on a big staircase. You cannot jump to the top. You climb slowly, one step at a time. Each safe conversation prepares you for bigger conversations. Each small success prepares you for greater success. So, my friend, I want you to open your eyes. Look around your life. Who are the safe strangers you can practice with today? Is it the person in the shop? Is it the driver on the road? Is it the new friend online? Choose one. Speak one sentence. That is enough to begin. Remember this truth. You do not need to wait for perfect English to talk to strangers. You only need courage to start with safe ones. Practice with them again and again. Use small words. Use simple sentences. Each day, you will become stronger. Each day, your voice will grow. And soon, strangers will no longer feel like strangers. They will feel like your teachers. They will feel like your practice partners. They will feel like your chance to become fluent. Chapter 8. Mistakes make you stronger. When you think about speaking English to strangers, maybe the first thought in your mind is, what if I make a mistake? This fear is powerful. It can stop you before you even start. You feel your tongue freeze. You feel your mind go blank. You want to speak, but the fear of mistakes keeps you silent. But listen carefully, my friend. Mistakes are not your enemy. Mistakes are your best teacher. Mistakes do not make you weak. Mistakes make you stronger. Think of a child who learns to walk. The child does not stand up and run on a first try. The child falls many times. But each fall is not a failure. Each fall is a step toward walking. Without falling, the child would never learn balance. Without mistakes, the child would never learn how to move forward. It is the same with English. Every mistake you make is helping you grow. I remember my own journey. I once tried to say, I am hungry, but I said it wrong. The stranger smiled and corrected me. For a moment, I felt embarrassed. But then I realized something important. That one mistake made me remember the correct sentence forever. I never forgot it again. That mistake became my teacher. That mistake gave me strength. Strangers are usually kinder than we imagine. Many of them will not laugh at your mistakes. Instead, they will understand your effort. Some may even help you. They will correct you with a smile. And that is a gift. Because every correction is another lesson. Every small error becomes a new step to fluency. Do not think that speaking perfectly makes you strong. What makes you strong is speaking even when you're not perfect. What makes you strong is opening your mouth, making mistakes, and continuing anyway. That is real courage. That is real growth. Imagine this picture. You are talking to a shopkeeper. You want to say, how much is this? But you forget the word much. You say, how is this? The shopkeeper still understands. Maybe they correct you. Maybe they answer directly. Either way, you spoke. You used English. You won. The mistake did not stop you. The mistake actually pushed you forward. If you never make mistakes, it means you're not trying. It means you are staying silent. And silence will never make you fluent. Mistakes show that you are alive in English. Mistakes show that you're learning. Mistakes show that you're brave enough to try. That is something to celebrate. So I want you to change your thinking. Next time you make a mistake, do not feel shame. Feel pride. Smile and say, good. I am learning. Remember that every great English speaker once made many mistakes. Nobody started perfect. They all started small, just like you. Every mistake you make with strangers is a step to a new level of confidence. Every wrong word is one step closer to the right word. Every wrong sentence is one step closer to fluency. This is the truth. Mistakes do not break you. Mistakes build you. So, my friend, do not run away from mistakes. Run toward them. Do not hide from them. Embrace them. Speak even if you're wrong. Speak even if you are afraid. Because the more mistakes you make, the stronger you become. And one day, you will look back and realize that your mistakes were not failures. They were gifts. They were the very steps that carried you to success. Chapter 9. Build your confidence slowly. Many learners dream of speaking English with confidence. They want to talk to strangers without fear. They want to use beautiful words and sound fluent. But when they try, they feel nervous. They feel small. They feel like confidence is far away. And then they think, maybe I can never do it. But here's the truth. Confidence is not born in one day. Confidence grows slowly, step by step, just like a tree grows from a seed. When you plant a seed, you do not see a tree the next morning. You wait. You water it every day. You give it sunlight. Slowly, little by little, the seed becomes strong. It grows roots. It grows leaves. It grows branches. In the same way, your English confidence starts small. It begins with one word, then one sentence, then one short talk with a stranger. Slowly, it grows into a strong voice that cannot be stopped. I remember when I first started speaking English. My voice was soft. My words were broken. I was afraid, but I told myself, I will not give up. I practiced every day, first with one word, then with small sentences. I spoke to safe strangers. I listened more than I spoke. Each small step gave me a little confidence, and that little confidence became more the next day. Day by day, I grew stronger. Confidence is like building muscles. You cannot go to the gym once and expect to be strong. You must train again and again. Each time you lift a small weight, your body becomes stronger. Each time you speak one sentence to a stranger, your English becomes stronger. You do not see the result immediately, but one day, you look back and realize, I am not the same person. I am more confident now. Do not compare yourself to others. Maybe you see someone speaking fast. Maybe you feel jealous or weak. But remember, they also started small. They also built their confidence slowly. Your journey is your own. Take one step at a time. Take one victory each day. That is enough. Imagine this picture. You go to the market. The first day, you only say, hello. The second day you add, how much? The third day you add, thank you, have a good day. Do you see the growth? In 3 days, your sentences are longer. In 3 days, your confidence is bigger. If you continue this way for weeks and months, you will be surprised at how much you can say. Confidence is not about being perfect. Confidence is about trying again and again, even when you feel afraid. Every small conversation is like a brick. Each brick builds your wall of confidence. Slowly, the wall becomes strong enough to hold you. Slowly, you realize you can stand tall. So, my friend, do not rush. Do not expect magic in one night. Build your confidence slowly. Enjoy the process. Celebrate every small success. Even if you speak one new sentence today, be proud. Even if you talk to one stranger today, smile. These are victories. These are proof that you're growing. One day, you will stand in front of a stranger and speak without fear. You will surprise yourself. You will remember the shy version of you. And you will say, look how far I have come. That day will come, but it will come slowly, like the sunrise. And when it comes, it will light up your whole life. Chapter 10. Learn useful phrases for strangers. When you talk to strangers in English, you do not need to know thousands of words. You do not need a huge dictionary in your head. You only need some useful phrases. These are small sentences that you can use again and again. They are like keys. Each phrase is a key that can open the door of conversation. When you carry these keys, you're never locked out. You could talk with anyone, anywhere. Think about greetings. A simple phrase like, "How are you?" can start conversation with any stranger. It shows you're friendly. It shows you're open. And almost every stranger will answer. If you learn this one phrase, you already have the power to begin. Another useful phrase is, "What is your name?" This phrase is small, but it makes a stranger feel special. When you ask someone's name, you show respect. You show interest. And people love that. Now, think about daily situations. You were in a shop. You can say, "How much is this?" You were in a bus. You can say, "Where is the stop?" You're in a restaurant. You can say, "I want tea, please." These phrases are not long. They are not difficult, but they are real. They help you live your life in English. And when you use them, you feel strong. I remember when I learned my first useful phrases. I practiced them again and again. At first, I felt shy, but when I used them with strangers, they worked like magic. A simple thank you made people smile. A simple excuse me made people help me. A simple can you help me gave me confidence. I realized that I did not need big grammar. I only needed the right phrases. Learning useful phrases also saves you from fear. When you already know what to say, you do not freeze. You do not waste time thinking. You open your mouth, and the words come out naturally. It feels like carrying tools in your pocket. Whenever you need them, they are ready. I want you to choose 10 useful phrases today. Write them down. Practice them aloud. Use them with yourself. Use them in the mirror. And most importantly, use them with strangers. Even if you only master 10 phrases, you can survive in many conversations. With hello, how are you? What is your name? Where are you from? Can you help me? How much is this? I want this, please, thank you, excuse me, and goodbye. You can already connect with the world. Remember, strangers do not want you to speak perfectly. They just want to understand you. If you use useful phrases, they will understand. They will reply. And slowly, the talk will grow. One phrase leads to another. One short exchange leads to a longer one. Before you know it, you are having real conversations. So, my friend, do not think learning English is too big. Do not think you need to study every word. Start with useful phrases. Learn them. Repeat them. Use them. These small sentences are your power. They are your confidence. They are your bridge to strangers. The next time you meet someone new, do not stay silent. Take out one of your keys. Say a useful phrase. Watch the door of conversation open. And remember, every phrase you use brings you closer to fluency. Every phrase you speak makes you stronger than yesterday. Chapter 11. From small talks to real talks. Every big conversation starts small. When you meet a stranger, you do not need to talk about deep topics immediately. You begin with small talk. Small talk is like the first step on a staircase. It looks tiny, but without it, you cannot climb higher. Small talk is your bridge to real talk. Think about greetings. A stranger says, "Hello." You reply, "Hello. How are you?" That is small talk. It feels simple. It feels basic. But in truth, it is powerful. Because after that first exchange, the stranger feels safe with you. They feel you are open. They feel you are friendly. And once trust is built, the talk can grow. I remember when I first spoke to a tourist. At first, I only said, "Hello. Where are you from?" He answered, "I am from France." I replied, "Oh, France is beautiful." That was small talk. But then he smiled and said, "Yes, I love my country. What about you? Where are you from?" And suddenly, we were having a real talk. We talked about travel. We talked about food. We even laughed. All of this started with one small sentence. Small talk is like planting seeds. Each seed can grow into a tree. You may think, it is just a short sentence. It is nothing. What is not nothing? It is everything. It is the door to deeper connection. So what kind of small talk can you use? Simple phrases like, nice weather. I like your bag. This place is beautiful. You are very kind. These are not complicated. They are easy, but they open hearts. They show the stranger that you want to connect. And most of the time, they will reply. From there, the talk can become real. Real talks happen when you move from simple facts to feelings and ideas. After small talk about the weather, you can ask, do you like summer? After small talk about food, you can ask, what is your favorite dish? These questions are still simple. But now, the stranger is sharing more. They are opening up. They are telling you about themselves. And this is how strangers become friends. The journey from small talk to real talk is like climbing a mountain. At the bottom, you take small steps. They feel easy. They feel safe. But as you climb higher, the view becomes more beautiful. You begin to see new things. In the same way, when your talk grows, you begin to learn more about people. You learn about their lives, their dreams, their cultures. And your English becomes alive with real meaning. Do not feel pressure to jump into deep topics. Do not feel you must talk a lot. To start small, smile. Say something simple. Then let the conversation grow naturally. Small talk is not the end. It is the beginning. And every beginning has the power to change your journey. So, my friend, remember this truth. Small talk is not useless. Small talk is magic. It takes you from silence to connection. It takes you from strangers to friends. It takes you from fear to confidence. Use small talk every day. Trust it. Practice it. Let it guide you into real talks. And soon, you will see how your English can open not just doors, but hearts. Chapter 12. Every stranger is chance. Every day, you meet strangers. Some pass you on the street. Some stand with you in the bus. Some work near you. Some sell you food or water. You see them, but often you stay silent. You look down. You say nothing, and the chance disappears. But what if you changed this? What if you saw every stranger not as fear, but as a chance? A chance to speak, a chance to practice, a chance to grow. Strangers are everywhere. That means chances are everywhere. Each time you open your mouth and say one word, you're training your English. Each time you speak a small sentence, you're getting stronger. You did not need to wait for a classroom. You did not need to wait for a teacher. The world itself is your classroom. Every stranger is your teacher. Every stranger is your lesson. Think about this. If you talk to one stranger a day, in 1 year you will have 365 practices. Imagine how strong your English will become. Imagine how confident you will feel. One stranger a day can change your future. That is how powerful this chance is. I remember when I started to see strangers in this new way. At first, I felt nervous. But I told myself, this is not just a stranger. This is my practice. I spoke one sentence. Sometimes they answered. Sometimes they only smiled. But each time I felt proud. Each time, my fear became smaller. And then, one day, I realized something. English was no longer just in my books. It was in my life. It was in every street, every shop, every bus. And all of this happened because I treated strangers as my chance. Do not wait for the perfect time. Do not wait until you feel ready. You will never feel ready. You must start now. The next stranger you see is your chance. Even if you only say hello, it is enough. Even if you only say, thank you, it is enough. These small chances, repeated again and again, create a big change inside you. Maybe you fear that strangers will laugh, but most of them will not. Most will smile. Some will help. Some will ask you questions. And even if one stranger does not reply, it does not matter, because you still practiced, you still grew, you still won. Your future confidence is built on these small chances. Every stranger is like a brick. Each time you speak, you add one brick. Slowly, you build a strong wall of confidence. Slowly, you build a bridge to fluency. And one day, you will stand tall and look back. You will see that all of those small chances were never small. They were your victory steps. So my friend, do not ignore strangers. Do not run away from them. See them as your opportunity. Speak to them with courage. Use simple words. Use short sentences. Use your smile. Let every stranger be your practice partner. Because every stranger is not just a person passing by. Every stranger is your chance to change your English, to change your confidence, to change your life. Now it's your turn. Next time you see a stranger, say just one English word. That is your victory. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and never wait for perfect English. Speak now. If you learned something valuable today, like this video, share with friends.